going to be hitting them very hard because it's our turn to hit them. They know it's coming.
After meeting Netanyahu, President Trump orders a fresh wave of military strikes on Iranian targets. New reports claim the US has launched another round of airstrikes against Iran following the high-level talks. US Central Command statement read, and I quote, "US forces began launching strikes against Iran at 8 p.m. Eastern Time today. The strikes are a powerful response to yesterday's attempted Iranian attacks on US forces based in the Middle East," unquote. Trump's latest warning appears to have been followed by swift military action against Iranian positions. Washington says it's now America's turn to respond as tensions with Tehran spiral once again.
On the attack, the drone attack on the LNG tanker off of Egypt, what can you tell us about that, and is there any indication it's Iran-related? Does it represent a wide...
I can give you a report. I've been briefed. It's a little more of the same, but it's going to be straightening out. It's going to be straightening out. In the meantime, we're going to be hitting them very hard because it's our turn to hit them. They know it's coming. They're asking us not to do it, but they tried shooting it last night. So we had 5 rockets shot going 8,500 miles an hour, and all 5 rockets were knocked down to the ground. But they nevertheless took a shot, so it's our turn. And we'll see if we get there with an agreement at some point, but we're going to hit them very hard.
Iran reportedly fired first, prompting President Trump to authorize immediate retaliatory strikes. Trump's retaliation campaign begins with firepower after reports claimed Iran launched 5 missiles. After what officials described as a surprise Iranian attack, Trump vowed, "We got to smack them," before ordering a military response.
Under what scenario do you see Iran attacking U.S. installations and personnel overseas and you withdrawing?
I don't see that. No, we're not. No, we're gonna hit them very hard. I mean, I can actually say that because there's very little they can do about it. It was a different group than we're dealing with. They've already apologized, but we got to smack them a little bit.
Mr. President, are you going to hit back when they strike?
Will I always hit back?
Yes.
Pretty much. Yes.
Mr. President, just want to put clarity on that, sir. Is that in response to the attempted ballistic missile strike on Jordan last night? When you say it's our turn to hit back?
Yeah, I think more so that, because it was another smaller event. But no, they sent 5 8,000-mile-an-hour missiles at us. And fortunately, we had our people operating the greatest equipment in the world, namely the Patriot system. Think of it, 5 missiles going 8,600 miles an hour, big ones, coming right at us, and all 5 were shot down. How about that, right? Pretty good. Nobody else could do that but us, yeah.
Trump also revealed American troops had only a few critical minutes to intercept the surprise assault before it reached its targets. Despite the fresh escalation, Trump insisted diplomatic talks with Iran would continue even as military tensions spiraled across the region. The remarks came after Iranian forces launched fresh strikes on US bases on July 28, while Trump was meeting Benjamin Netanyahu. The IRGC later released dramatic footage claiming to show ballistic missiles being fired toward a US airbase in Jordan. The IRGC says it launched ballistic missiles at a US airbase and a CENTCOM facility in Jordan on July 28. Iran described the strike as retaliation for what it called continuing American aggression against the Islamic Republic. The IRGC Aerospace Force claimed responsibility for carrying out the ballistic missile operation. IRGC's statement read, and I quote, "The US Army Central Air Base and Command Center in Jordan was targeted by ballistic missiles. The grand and epic-making people of Islamic Iran, your continued conscious presence in the arena has filled the world with wonder and admiration, and your benevolent prayers have guaranteed the victorious operations of the fighters of Islam." In response to the aggressive actions of the child-killing US Army, a short while ago, the brave fighters of the IRGC Aerospace Force targeted the US Army Central Air Base and Command Center in Jordan with several ballistic missiles. As long as the threats against the Islamic Republic of Iran continue and the illegal and wicked actions of the American forces against our interests, ongoing the resistance will also continue. The threats of American officials and illegal interventions against our interests must stop. And victory is not but from Allah, the exalted in might, the wise, unquote. The IRGC Navy says it intercepted and stopped 3 oil tankers in the Strait of Hormuz after they ignored repeated Iranian warnings. IRGC's statement read, and I quote, 3 violating oil tankers were targeted and stopped. To the faithful and history-making people of Islamic Iran, well done to you who, by being in the field for 150 days and nights gave a new meaning to resistance and displayed a new standard of a nation's awareness and will. Your zealous sons in the IRGC Navy, while continuing to exercise complete management and control over the Strait of Hormuz, continue to safeguard this trust of the faithful and awake nation of Islamic Iran. Hours ago, 3 violating oil tankers that continued to move along an insecure and illegal path, ignoring our warnings, were targeted and stopped. The IRGC Navy warns once again that the illegal interventions and commands of the child-killing US Army against vessels in the region will not remain unanswered. And victory is not but from Allah, the exalted in might, the wise. Unquote. The US president also spoke about the joint military strikes carried out alongside Saudi Arabia against targets inside Iraq. Trump claimed the July 28 operation specifically targeted Iran-backed Iraqi militias accused of threatening American forces and regional security. The US leader branded the Iran-backed militias as the cancer of the world during his interview with Fox News. Trump further revealed that the Iraqi government had been informed in advance about the planned US-Saudi joint military operation. A fresh conflict now appears to be looming in the Middle East, this time involving Iran-backed Iraqi militias and Saudi Arabia. On July 29, Iraqi Prime Minister Ali al-Zaidi abruptly called off his planned meeting with Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. Ali al-Zaidi was originally scheduled to hold high-level talks with Saudi Arabia's Mohammed bin Salman in Jeddah on July 29. The Iraqi Prime Minister also ordered an emergency meeting of the National Security Council shortly after snubbing MBS. The diplomatic fallout came after the United States and Saudi Arabia jointly carried out overnight strikes against Iran-backed Iraqi militias on July 28. The coordinated US-Saudi operation specifically targeted members of Iraq's Popular Mobilization Forces during the overnight assault. Several PMF fighters were reportedly killed as the strikes hit multiple militia bases across different parts of Iraq. US and Saudi fighter jets bombed several logistics hubs and weapons storage facilities across eastern Iraq during the coordinated operation.